The Apple Watch Ultra is Apple's toughest Apple Watch they've made. It's the titanium frame, it's the biggest one they've made, and it's built for the Ultra people. But is it actually Ultra? And today I want to cover, is the Apple Watch Ultra slash, is it good? We got the Apple Watch Ultra here in black, and I want to talk about a couple of the things that are really good about this watch and a couple of things that are okay about this watch, and honestly if you should get this watch. So the first thing I want to cover is battery. And this Apple Watch Ultra 2, the one I'm currently wearing, has 36-hour battery life and 72-hour battery life if you're sitting in low power mode, which honestly not worth it unless you're like stranded in the middle of nowhere and you need a watch, but it just cuts out all the sensors. But on the day-to-day use, this watch is super awesome. It works well for when you use it to sleep, and then you wake up in the morning, you still have plenty of battery life left to carry on your day. So usually you can charge it when you're taking a shower or getting ready in the morning when you don't need to wear the watch. And for me, I've used it when I've worked out, to sleep, and I've been not stressed at all with battery life. I previously had the Series 7, and I would be pretty low at nighttime, and I'd have to try and charge it before I would go to bed, and then I'll have just enough juice to sleep and then work out and then charge it again, and it's this big cycle. But now it's been great with the battery. So I would say battery is an 8 out of 10. So a couple other things I like about this watch is the frame. I love the frame, I love the design, I love the accents of the orange. I really like how with the black especially it pops. It looks super sleek. You got the titanium frame as well as the sapphire screen. And this is really leaning towards that Ultra group, so it's a lot harder to scratch, a lot harder to break or mess up compared to Apple's previous watches. Even though they're all good, this one's definitely more Ultra. You got the action button, which can be super helpful. You can click it and you can change it to a workout, a flashlight, set a waypoint, different things like that depending on what you're using it for and what your interests are. So you have a little bit of customization there. It's very similar to the action button with the iPhones, where you can change it to do something different rather than just a ringer. And so those are some good features about the Apple Watch Ultra. Now, I kind of want to talk about, what does it feel like to wear the Apple Watch today? Quite honestly, I use it mostly to work out, and it tracks my sleep as well. And it feels very similar to my previous watch. You got the same UI, and you got the same like notifications, the whole like Apple Watch OS system. And so it feels very much like an Apple Watch. And I did put the Ultra face on it that comes with the Ultra series, so you can have it show like your elevation or swim depth, just depending on what you're doing. But overall, it feels very Apple Watch-esque, if that makes sense. And so in that sense, it's kind of the same. So on a day-to-day level, unless you're really changing the face of the screen to an Ultra, it's gonna feel a lot similar to your previous Apple Watch, which is familiar, and it's kind of how iPhone is they'll kind of keep that same OS through the whole thing. Like a Pro iPhone is gonna feel very similar to an iPhone 17, just kind of how they work. But when you get into the nitty-gritty of sensors, build quality, and even just the way it looks is when you start to tap in a little bit more into that Pro or Ultra. Another feature I want to cover is the double tap feature. Double tap feature, it's, I want to say, more or less limited on what it can do. You can double tap and it will pull up usually your smart stack. You can have it just click or have it just kind of like slide through stuff. If you're going through and playing music, it'll skip the song. And if you're outside of like an app, you'll usually just kind of like scroll down to the next thing. So if I have my workout pulled up and I double tap, all right, real time. If you have the workout pulled up, I double tap. Doesn't work when you're working out. But if you go into, for example, if you go to your rings, it'll just like go down and it'll show you all those different things. So double feature, I would almost say it's overhyped. It's probably more of like a 3 out of 10 feature at the moment, where it's definitely something Apple can maybe utilize and maybe have like a single tap for like select, double tap skip, or whatever you want to do. But honestly, it doesn't really do much for me. They got the little like wrist flick thing, but I mean, I don't really do that. So I don't know, I think there's a lot of potential here. We have the good hardware with the Apple Watch Ultra, and so there's a lot that Apple could probably do more besides just having like ultra sensors where it can like track water temperature, how deep you are, all the outdoor stuff, which is super nice and helpful for ultra people. But I do think because it's ultra, they could probably cram in a little bit more features. But overall, I would say this watch it's been great so far. I love it. And it honestly doesn't feel too big on my wrist. I've always had the bigger size screens on my watches, but I personally enjoy having the bigger screen. And so I haven't noticed it having it be a 49 millimeter compared to like a 46 or 45. But I'd say it's an 8 out of 10. And if you're looking to get one, if you're willing to spend the money, I would say it's worth it. With the battery life, the build quality, and even just like the look of the watch is super awesome. So comment down below your favorite feature, favorite thing of the Apple Watch Ultra, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and check out these videos that YouTube is recommending you. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.